Justin Bieber didn't show up for Hailey Bieber's birthday, and the internet is freaking out. While Hailey was sharing birthday posts on her own, Justin was all the way in India getting ready for a major performance with Jennifer Lopez. He didn't post a single public birthday message for his wife, and things only got more intense. At that same moment, Selena Gomez looked calm, confident, and completely relaxed backstage at Sabrina Carpenter's show, going viral immediately while Justin stayed quiet about Hailey. Fans are putting the pieces together, and the timing looks bad. Something is clearly shifting, publicly and emotionally. And it all traces back to one simple moment. A moment Selena Gomez had no intention of turning into drama. She just came out to support Sabrina Carpenter at her LA concert. Selena looked calm, bright, and completely untouched by the chaos the internet usually tries to pull her into. No cryptic posts, no hidden hints, just a simple, peaceful moment that unexpectedly blew up online. Because while Selena smiled in the background, people noticed something else happening at that very same time. Or more accurately, something that wasn't happening. Hailey Bieber's birthday was unfolding online hour by hour, and Justin Bieber was nowhere to be seen. No story, no post, not even a quick repost or an old photo. Just silence. And as Selena's relaxed backstage picture spread everywhere, Justin's silence suddenly felt louder than anything else. No one was trying to compare them directly. The internet did that itself. One woman looking truly happy, present, and calm, and another celebrating her birthday with no sign of her husband anywhere. It didn't matter how many candles were on Hailey's cake. What everyone noticed was the empty space beside her. Then the fan reactions started pouring in, making the difference even harder to overlook. One person said, "Selena didn't even try, and she still outshines their entire PR team." And honestly, with how naturally she handled that moment, it's easy to see why people think that. Another viewer added, "Hailey looks lonely even in a crowd. You can feel it." And that hit differently because it wasn't meant as hate. It was a feeling people couldn't shake. And before we dive further into this whole situation, if this contrast already has you glued in, hit that like button. It really does help. While everyone was talking about Justin's silence, a new discussion started bubbling up. And it made the timeline even more chaotic. As the hours of Hailey's birthday went by with nothing from Justin, people suddenly realized he wasn't actually gone. He was just gone from her. He wasn't offline. He wasn't unavailable. He wasn't disconnected. He was reportedly getting ready for something much bigger. A major performance with Jennifer Lopez at one of the most extravagant weddings happening overseas. And that's when the contrast became impossible to ignore. Hailey was blowing out candles in Palm Springs, surrounded by her brand team and close friends, trying to make the moment feel warm and personal. But online, people were already seeing the situation like a split screen. Her soft, cozy birthday vibe on one side, and Justin's high-energy jet-setting plans on the other. And even though no one wanted to say it directly, everyone felt the same thing. The energy between them just didn't seem to line up anymore. One side looked like someone trying, and the other side looked like someone trying to get away. By the time fans realized Justin hadn't even thrown up a quick birthday message, the whole conversation flipped. It wasn't about him forgetting anymore. It became about priorities, and what it means when someone keeps showing the world where they'd rather be. You could feel the shift online as fans started sharing their thoughts. One person said, "How is he planning an entire performance but can't post one sentence for his wife?" A comment that captured the frustration perfectly. Another viewer added, "Hailey looked like she was celebrating alone." And honestly, that says everything. Once those comments started spreading, the conversation stopped feeling like guesswork. It became a reflection of what people already felt deep down. What really pushed everything into chaos wasn't just Justin flying across the world or Hailey acting like everything was fine. It was the timing. Hour after hour, the timeline kept waiting for something, anything, from Justin. A story, a repost, a quick selfie, even an old throwback from 2016. But nothing showed up. Not a single hint of acknowledgement. And the silence started to feel deliberate, especially because Justin wasn't offline. He wasn't taking a break from social media. His old posts were still pinned at the top of his profile. Loud and clear, random memes, rapper shoutouts, quick aesthetic dumps. This wasn't someone who lost access to his account. This was someone who just didn't show up when it actually counted. And what made it even worse was how obvious the contrast looked from the outside. Hailey was reposting birthday messages from friends, showing candles, cakes, little surprises. She was doing everything she could to make the day feel complete. But that empty space, the spot where Justin's message should have been, ended up overshadowing the entire celebration. People weren't just noticing the silence anymore. They were starting to question the meaning behind it. Because when someone stays quiet long enough, that silence becomes the message. You could feel the shift as fans began reacting to the silence itself. One person said, "It's wild how he has the energy for memes but can't write one birthday sentence for his wife." And honestly, it showed how uneven his online presence looked. Another viewer added, "Hailey'S day seemed complete, except for the part where the one person who mattered didn't show up." And that hit even harder, because it summed up what everyone was already thinking. The missing piece wasn't an accident. It was a decision. What made the timeline explode wasn't just Justin's silence, it was the pattern behind it. As I looked through everything that day, the same pattern kept popping up. Justin has never been hesitant about showing public support, just never for the one person he should be showing it to the most. He'll hype up rappers he barely knows. He'll repost random memes. He'll share quotes for no reason. He'll even jump online to defend people like Chris Brown without thinking twice. But on the one day Hailey needed even the smallest sign from him, there was nothing. And that's when fans started digging and pulling up things Justin probably hoped people had forgotten. Especially that moment from last week, the one where he said Selena's name while singing live on Twitch. It wasn't edited. It wasn't misunderstood. It happened in real time, slipping out naturally, like an instinct from a chapter of his life he never fully left behind. And now, placed right next to his silence for Hailey, it felt like a puzzle piece fans didn't want but couldn't ignore. I saw the same question popping up everywhere. Why is it so easy for him to show public loyalty to everyone else, but not his wife? And honestly, when I looked back at Selena's calm presence at Sabrina Carpenter's show, the peaceful energy she carried, it made sense why it went viral. It was the complete opposite of the chaos happening elsewhere. The internet has its theories, but what do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments. I really want to hear them. What happened next didn't feel like normal internet drama anymore. It felt like a shift. A slow wave that had been building for months suddenly brought the whole story together. Once Justin stayed quiet on Hailey's birthday, it stopped being about posts or parties. It became something bigger, something people had been quietly noticing for a long time. It wasn't just the missing birthday message. It was everything around it. The trip overseas, the big performance with Jennifer Lopez, the effortless energy he seemed to give everywhere except at home. And suddenly, fans started connecting dots they had overlooked before. Dots stretching back to earlier cryptic posts, Justin's questions about faith, Hailey's lyrics about feeling misunderstood, warnings from his sister, emotional messages from his father. At the time, people brushed those posts off as typical celebrity mood swings, but now they looked more like warning signs. Meanwhile, Hailey's birthday content kept coming, carefully curated, polished, trying to show everything as normal. But even the most beautiful photos couldn't hide what was missing. The one person everyone expected to be by her side. You could feel it in the timeline, the way the mood changed hour by hour. What started as confusion turned into suspicion, then concern. Fans weren't claiming anything dramatic. They weren't suddenly spreading breakup rumors. They were just pointing out what was already there. The energy between Justin and Hailey simply didn't feel in sync anymore. As the days passed after Hailey's birthday, the online chatter didn't die down. Fans kept noticing little things. A missed post here, a story shared there, a quiet moment captured in the background. Justin's focus seemed to be everywhere except home. Meanwhile, Selena kept appearing at events, smiling naturally, her presence effortless, and every new photo or clip reminded people of the stark difference. Then something unexpected happened. A short video surfaced of Justin rehearsing with Jennifer Lopez overseas. In it, he was energetic, laughing, fully engaged, while Hailey's latest post showed her smiling for the camera, but with an almost empty energy behind it. The contrast became the main topic everywhere, not about hate, but about tension that had slowly been building. People started piecing together past events, old posts, and recent sightings, creating a timeline that painted a very clear picture. The couple's energy was not in sync, and it was visible for anyone paying attention. By the end of the week, it wasn't just online observers noticing. Even media outlets began highlighting the divide. The story was no longer confined to memes or comments. It had become a real discussion about priorities, presence, and what happens when someone's attention drifts. And through it all, Selena remained calm, smiling at every camera, her vibe completely untouched by the chaos surrounding the couple. It left fans wondering, was this just a birthday mishap or the beginning of a bigger shift in their world? Not in their posts, not in their priorities, not in the way their lives were moving in completely opposite directions. By the end of the night, the birthday silence wasn't just silence anymore. It became the final piece in a story people had already felt unfolding long before this week. And whether the world ends up being right or wrong, one thing was clear. Something between Justin and Hailey had changed, and everyone could feel it. Honestly, after everything that happened, I'm still trying to understand how one birthday managed to reveal so much. It wasn't just the silence. It was what that silence exposed. Priorities, patterns, and a truth the internet had sensed for a long time but only now started saying openly. And if you felt that shift too, if even one part of this made you pause, don't hold it in. Tell me what you're seeing, what you're feeling, what you're picking up between the lines. And if you're still here with me right now, you know what to do. Show some support, tap that like, hit that subscribe, and we'll keep breaking this down together.